It took 5 months for the Act 2 update to Death Must Die to drop, only for most of the community to absolutely hate it. Let's take a look at everything you need to know about this new update, and let's start with the elephant in the room. Talent trees. My most anticipated change turned out to be an absolute hate machine for the community. Talent trees completely replaced the perks that each hero used to have. You know, the ones you unlocked by completing the different achievements? They're gone, and each character now has a unique talent tree instead. The catch here is that all players start completely from scratch with these talent trees, seeing as talent trees are tied to boss kills and not achievements. Killing a boss grants you 2 talent points, meaning you can get up to 6 talent points for each run if you manage to take down the end boss. And this whole thing results in quite a power drop for all players who played the game prior to this update. If you're new to the game, then this doesn't matter. For you, this is simply part of your natural character progression. For everyone else, it might feel like you've lost hours and hours of progress due to perks being gone and you having to start from scratch with your talent trees. Major changes like these are expected from early access game, but it still doesn't feel good to feel like you've lost 50 hours of progress overnight. It would have been nice to start out with at least a few talent points for each hero based on the achievements we had prior to the update. Anyways, the talent trees themselves seem to be interesting and unique. I of course haven't spent the hours required to unlock talent points for all the heroes yet, but I've taken a glance at each one, and there's definitely talents in here that I'm excited to unlock. Some talents simply give a percentage increase of certain types of stats, while some alter your attack in bigger ways or even give you more ability slots. The maximum amount of talent points you can get for each hero is 36, meaning it's possible to unlock the maximum amount of talent points for each hero in a total of 6 runs, if you're good enough. I'm not going to dive too deep into each talent tree in this video, so go check out the talent trees yourself to learn more about them. You'll find them in your character screen, but you have to visit the Constellarium next to Avalon in the hub to pick and change your talents. There's also been quite a major overhaul to stats and abilities in general. The short of it is that there's more categories for abilities now that each are affected by their corresponding stat. All new and existing abilities now belong to one of these categories. Earlier, basically everything except for attacks and summons were categorized as a spell. This system opens up for more varied build choices with how you choose to gear up. You can go all in on strike damage, which will only affect abilities triggered by your attacks, or you can even go all in on your dash if you so will. You also have a set limit to how many abilities you can pick from each category that is different for each character. And this limit can be altered through talent trees and possibly through gear, which I can't confirm yet. Now this covers most of the big changes to the game. There's of course new content to talk about as well. There's a new map, a new hero and a new goddess alongside a ton of new abilities for all of the existing gods. There's also a whole new tier of loot that's stronger than before and lots of unique items. In Act 2 we explore the Endless Desert, a new map that brings with it new enemies, new bosses and new shrines to empower our heroes. You choose this map by activating the orange crystal on the Star Crux. I'm not sure what the unlock criteria are for new players, but I'm guessing you have to defeat Dracula in the first map. The Endless Desert follows the same formula of 20-minute runs, with bosses appearing at 7, 14 and 20 minutes with waves of enemies coming in between. Some of these enemies are quite extreme and will absolutely destroy you if you're not careful. They're fast while dealing a lot of damage, which is seldom a good combo. The new goddess is called Ninh, and she has a great personality. She's the goddess of earth and will imbue you with the abilities that throws rocks around and builds stone walls. I've been able to pick her a few times during my runs so far, and I can say that her earth spike ability is really strong. I'm gonna have to try and stack some strike damage on a future run to play around more with this. The new hero man is Lorien, an elven ranger, which means we finally have a second ranged class. So far we've only had Maris as a ranged character, with the breast being focused on melee for the main attacks. Lorien is actually Maris' brother in the lore for anyone interested in that. I was able to beat Act 1 on my first run with him and almost able to take down Act 2 on my second run, so with some more optimization he should come out as a strong contender in the hero roster. Just need to grind out some more talent points and find a better bow. It's also worth mentioning that you can now push the difficulty level way past 30, which used to be the max before. Now you can crank it all the way up to 100. I haven't dared yet, but one day I will be a big boy and take the leap. On top of all this, there's also a lot of great quality of life changes. For one, gear is no longer soulbound, meaning you can swap gear between your heroes. There's still tiers like light, medium and heavy armor, and weapons are also unique for each character, but all other gear can be swapped back and forth. No need to commit your god rolled items to one single character. We also have more stash tabs in the stash. I can't remember how many it was before, but it sure wasn't enough. Now we have 9, which is better, but I'm sure my stash will be full in a few hours anyways. Now we only need a search or filter feature for the stash to easier highlight items that have certain stats on them. I'd honestly have traded that feature for all those new stash without even thinking. The minimap also does a little more to help you out now by having an icon for bosses so you don't have to lose track of them, teleporting around all the time, and a special little dot for unique items. Perfect for collectors like me who want to collect them all. Overall, I find this to be a good update. While it does feel like some progress has been deleted, I think that the changes are better for the game in the long term. Talent trees open up for more varied builds, especially with how they've changed the stats and abilities as well. This general progression path will also feel a lot better and more rewarding to new players who are just starting out in Death Must Die. I'm gonna have to play each class some more and grind out some talent points for them before I can give a proper verdict on this. I'd love to hear your opinion on the update in the comments below. My beginner's guide to Death Must Die is probably outdated now, but go check it out anyways. You might pick up some useful tips and let me know if I need to make a new one.